line. And I know there's one lady that has been nominating and winning a lot, and that is Shayna Forbes. Shayna, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, thank you for having me.
It's been a fantastic year for you in the 2025 qualifier series. What have been some of those milestones that you've checked off along the way that have helped you to become #1 in the leaderboard?
I mean, I would say just honestly nominating my local jackpots and then also trying to make it to all of the qualifiers that I possibly could make it to. I would say that's where my biggest points come across is from those qualifiers and nominating those.
And I think so many people could overlook those local jackpots as well. Is that a new tactic that you're trying in 2025?
I mean, my tactic this year is a little bit different than last. I kind of came in late last year because I actually won my first qualifier I went to in Buckeye, Arizona, the year before last to go to finals. Um, so this year, I kind of started off from the get go, was able to hit up the jackpots and try and make it to every single qualifier that I was able to make it to. So I would say my tactic here kind of got to start earlier in the season.
How important was that after going through the finals in 2024? You got a taste of victory there, moved along a little bit throughout the finals, but how important was it for you to go in a higher spot this year instead of just qualifying right at the end like you did?
Yeah. I've just been growing as a roper myself. I've only been roping for about 2.5 years on the head side. So just trying to better myself and get myself in all these different situations of handling different cattle. My main gelding I have, he's 6. I've bred and raised him. So just getting him seasoned along with myself, has been huge.
And you told me you dabbled in the breakaway roping in high school and then barrel race for about 10 years. What brought you into the team roping game and inspired you to go ahead and pick up an extra event?
Yeah. Actually, the younger horse that I'm riding now, Venom, he actually put me in the dirt about 3 times when I was on the barrel pattern, trying to get him ready to futurity. So I kind of felt like I maybe need to change gears with him a little bit. So one of my good friends actually hopped on him and rode him for about 6 months for me. And he had asked if he could start him on the head side. And I said, sure, why not? He thought he would excel there. And that's not something I had ever really dabbled in. And when I got him back, I felt like I kind of had to maybe put myself in that seat. And I just really started enjoying it. I bought myself a kind of more of a campaigner to start off, and then was riding him along with that and going to the jackpots on the campaigner. And I just kind of grew with my colt, and now I get along with him really well, and just kind of keep going from there. Kind of just love the sport now, so I haven't quit, and just keep going with it.
Hey, I'm certainly a big fan of the team roping game as well. You mentioned your horse put you in the dirt a few times preparing him for futurities, but there was another incident back in February that showed you it wasn't all going to be smooth sailing this year, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, at the beginning of February, obviously things happened. I was just in the practice pen, and my gelding caught a front shoe, which took him down, which then took me down. It whipped me pretty hard to the ground, knocked me out, and I actually ended up with a separated shoulder and a concussion. I had about 30 minutes of amnesia from that. Doctors asked me to try and stay off for about a month, but I had the Hamilton and Stephenville qualifier in my sight, which was only about 2 weeks away. So thankfully, I had some friends visiting in town from Oregon, and those girls kept my horses going for about the next week. Um, my body felt okay and my mind felt okay. So I kind of just went with that and got back on and made my way to Texas.
Now, you may have only been team roping for 2.5 years, but you sound exactly like a longtime team roper right there with that story. But does that say just how motivated you are to come in #1 for the Women's Rodeo World Championship? It's a huge, huge award out ahead of you.
Yeah. Obviously, I do see what the other girls are doing and their points. They're super handy, great ropers, both the girls right behind me. But, I'm always in competition with myself. I'm always trying to better myself, do better for me. And it's just kind of icing on the cake to be in the #1 spot. trying to beat myself.
Yeah,
Each and
Shayna,
every
you're
time.
certainly one tough cowgirl, both mentally and it sounds like physically after your incident there this winter. Best of luck. We're really excited to see you back again in 2025 at that Women's Rodeo World Championship.
I sure appreciate it, and I look forward to it. It was a great week last year, and I hope for even a better week this week.
Yeah, we can't
Or
wait to
this.
see Shayna compete there at the Women's Rodeo World Championship. And it is just around the corner. Again, it's May 12th through 14th at Cowtown Coliseum. And then they head over to Arlington to AT&T Stadium for the finals there on May 17th. And you've got just a few weeks left to nominate before that April 13th deadline.